I remember sitting in my room as a kid, always wishing that Pokemon was real. Like if there was some way to actually go around and capture Pokemon. So when Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out, I thought this is probably the closest I'll get to that dream. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was the first real open world Pokemon game we've all dreamt of, and seeing it actually in motion was amazing. Well, at least for the most part. And hearing that they made a mainline Pokemon game that gives you the freedom to tackle gym leaders and some other main quests any way that you like was something that really caught my interest. Let's talk about the story. So you start just like pretty much all the Pokemon games usually do. But on this one, you're a student at the Pokemon Academy trying to find your own path in this Pokemon world. You meet your professor, and just like in every Pokemon game, you're given the option to choose between 3 of the starting Pokemon. After a couple more cutscenes, you're on your way to the first town and headed to school. After the tutorial, the game lets you choose whatever path you want to take, and you can always jump between all 3 of the paths. I don't want to spoil anything for those that still haven't played this game, so I'll give some bare bones explanation. One path will have you taking out Titan Pokemon with a guy that's collecting herbs. The other is fighting Team Star, which would be the equivalent of Team Rocket in this game. And the last path is your traditional gathering gym badges to be the very best. Let's talk about the world. So I'm kind of between the fact that I like the world, but I also wish it could have been better. But overall, for this to be the first real open world Pokemon game, I feel like they did a decent job. The world has many different areas, from grassy terrain to snow-covered mountains to caves and so many other places. The world was interesting enough to keep me looking for new Pokemon and gathering the many materials that they have scattered across the map. When I was first let loose, I probably spent like an hour or two on just the starting area alone and catching Pokemon and getting used to the mechanics of the game. I couldn't even begin to tell you how cool it was walking into a big town and being able to move my camera full 360 around my character. And it definitely helped that the locations looked somewhat interesting enough to make me say how good of a job that they did bringing Pokemon into a more modern feel with the world and the mechanics. And sometimes you'll be surfing and then fighting water Pokemon. Other times you'll be in the desert fighting some rock and fighting type Pokemon. The many locations kept things fresh, and you never know what type of Pokemon you're going to run into. Let's talk about the gameplay. So this game is not like your typical Pokemon games. I mean, yeah, they got the same battle mechanics they've always had, but the game introduces some new things. Which, if any of you have played Arceus, then some aren't that new to you. But the ones that haven't, the game has some new improvements to combat, like being able to send out your Pokemon at any time you want to battle, and you can also send them out by yourselves while you go ahead and continue looking for treasure close by. They also have these terror transformations that give you a boost during battles, which I thought was going to be bad, but you don't really use them that much except for like gym battles and different stuff, and sometimes some Pokemon out in the world would have them. I really love the way that they incorporated the Team Star battles when you have to clear out their bases. You get to just throw out your Pokemon and just let them roam loose and let them fight. I actually wish that they did that a little bit more and wasn't restricted to just those Team Star battles. Early in the game, you're given a mount that lets you traverse the map with ease, and when you do the Titan path, you get to unlock more abilities to help you with traversal, like surfing and running up mountains. And I really love the fact that you actually get to see the Pokemon walking around and can choose what Pokemon you want to battle. The days of random battles are over, and I welcome it with open arms. Let's talk about the combat. Well, combat is still your typical turn-based style combat. Now, I do wish they changed this up just a little bit to make it feel more immersive, but hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? They made it easier to throw any Pokeballs with just a simple button press, and combat looked somewhat okay. Some of the animations didn't look so good, like sometimes your Pokemon would just stand in one place and do a little motion like they were attacking. But the bigger moves looked good and the animations for them wasn't too bad. I just wish that they would have kept some of the things from Arceus, like the Pokemon actually attacking you, and mixed the two together. But it works for the type of game this is. And once again, if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. But with that being said, this brings me to everybody's favorite part. Let's talk about the cons. My first con is a small one, but I wish there was at least 1 or 2 more zooms on the map. Like, it goes from a close-up view of the map to just zooming out so far that you can't even see all the places like Pokemon centers and other things. If they had just 1 more zoom out before they zoomed the camera all the way out to the whole map, it would be nice. My second complaint is the low FPS drops. Even after all the patches, you can still see the drops in the people and Pokemon that are walking around, and it's very noticeable. It's not game breaking in my opinion, but when it happens, you can see it. My third complaint is the way things play out in the story. In a lot of the story quests, things always play out the same. You go and fight a Titan Pokemon, and it's pretty much the same exact fight and same cutscene, just with different Pokemon. Overall, I love this game, and I think this is the way every Pokemon game needs to be moving forward. From getting gym badges to catching them all, I give Pokemon Scarlet and Violet a 8 out of 10. I highly recommend this game. I had a blast playing it. Let me know down in the comments, did you like Scarlet and Violet, or did you hate it? Also, join the Discord, the link is in the description below. And make sure you guys like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you. Take care.